Yeah, I called ICE on somebody. This Jamaican lady, she has this restaurant. I can't tell you what town it's in, but very nasty attitude. I went in to buy a dinner about 3 weeks ago, and she gave me some burnt up rice. Now, I paid about $27 for this dinner.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is just so wild because you tell me why a black American woman calls ICE agents on a Jamaican restaurant owner. I mean, how wicked can we as human beings get, or rather be? Now, this video that I'm about to play for you, it's about a black American woman who went ahead and called ICE agents on a Jamaican restaurant owner, claiming that she was given food that was burnt. Now, she didn't go back to the hotel to ask for a refund. She went there so that she can get another plate. Ladies and gentlemen, one thing is for sure, Jamaicans know how to prepare food. That's not something to debate about. The Jamaicans, they are good at preparing their dishes. And that's why there is this a video of a Jamaican lady, I mean a Japanese lady, who said that to all the 20 countries, to over 20 countries that she has traveled to, she has never missed a Jamaican restaurant. Even here in my country, Kenya, we have a Jamaican restaurant in a place called Westlands. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to play for you the full video, and then thereafter, I'll be back with a few discussion. But remember, if you're coming across my channel for the first time, don't forget to like, subscribe, and also comment. We are at 270 subscribers. Ladies and gentlemen, your love and support means so much to me. How I do wish that you guys can just watch as you click on the subscribe button. Either way, I appreciate you all for the love and support. So let's watch this video up to the end, and then we'll have a candid discussion.
Yeah, I called ICE on somebody. This Jamaican lady, she has this restaurant. I can't tell you what town it's in, but very nasty attitude. I went in to buy a dinner about 3 weeks ago, and she gave me some burnt up rice. Now, I paid about $27 for this dinner, and I had two side orders. She gave me some burned up rice and some nasty piece of chicken. The chicken tastes rotten. Now, when I got to my car and opened up the meal, the container was stinking. Okay, that's how rotten the food was. So I went inside and politely asked her for another plate because the food was not adequate. And I told her what was wrong with the food. So she got very loud, very nasty, very, very nasty lady. Instead of just taking the food back, making me another plate, I didn't eat hardly anything out of it. Instead of her being a nice business owner, making the customer happy, she decides to curse me out like a dog. Her attitude was so nasty, very nasty. So I already figured she was in this country illegally because she has this heavy accent. I can tell. I knew that she was here illegally, her and her husband. And I'm saying, if you're going to be here illegally in this country, you can at least be humble about it, okay? And be nice to people. Because people can call ICE on you like I did her ass. So what ended up happening is she refused to give me another dinner, so I ended up losing my money. But I'm not the type of person to argue with people, anything like that. So I just took it as a loss. I said never again. But anyway, I got angry about it when I went home. I thought about it, so I called the ICE hotline. Now, I have never done this to anybody. There's a lot of people I could do this to. But I don't have a reason to call ICE on people if they're nice to me and they're doing what they're supposed to do. I have no reason to do that to anybody, but this woman was so nasty to me. I just had to get her. So I called the ICE hotline. And I told them, that there are some illegal Jamaican people at this location working in a restaurant. Guess what happened? Now, that was 3 weeks ago. I drove by there today, and they are no longer there. No longer there. So I just happened to ask this man that was in the business right next to this Jamaican spot. I asked him, I said, what happened to that Jamaican restaurant that was right next door to your business? And he said, oh, a bunch of ICE agents came in there last week and, you know, they were illegal here and they got deported. That's what happened. So I was thinking, okay, all right, thank you. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, see, that's what you get for being nasty to people. So if you were in this country illegally, you better be humble and you better be grateful and you better be respectful towards Americans. That's all I'm going to say to you. Because the same thing can happen to you. All you got to do is get on that phone and call that ICE hotline number. Okay? It's on Google. And they will come there and they will investigate. But she got what she deserved, just being nasty. She didn't have to be nasty to me like that. But I got her ass. So, good riddance.
I woke up this morning to the news. A black American woman is now claiming that she called ICE on a Jamaican restaurant 3 weeks ago, and she went yesterday and have a look at it, and it was closed down. She's claiming that she purchased food, and when she opened the box, the food was rotten. She went in, tried to have a conversation with the lady. The lady was disrespectful and rude because they have an heavy accent. She's claiming that it's the lady and her husband that own the place. She didn't like it. She went home and called ICE, and now the place is closed down. So I guess they are arrested. I didn't know that having a heavy accent equal out to being illegal, because I'm living in the Netherlands and I don't have a Dutch accent and I have a Dutch passport. But maybe those people were illegal. Maybe there was food safety problem there why it got closed down. But this is what I have to say. When I got the news this morning, no disrespect, but I just know it was a black American that did this. And I mean with no disrespect. I have a lot of you people that follow me and I follow you back, but we have to be very frank now. The hatred that some of you people have for our Caribbean people is not normal. The hatred that some of you people have for our fellow African, some of our fellow African brothers and sisters, it's not normal. So I just know it wasn't a Karen that did this. I know it was one of your people that did this. It is so disgusting not only to do it, but to come on social media and make videos about it. And I don't know what because I went and searched for the video. I don't know what wearing a dark black glass was going to do about it. If that's your way of hiding your face. So I hope the money you make from the viral video, I hope she see this. I hope it serve you and serve you well and serve you for eternity. And I hope you sleep well at night knowing you interrupt the lives of other people, and I don't believe it was necessary. I believe it was intentional, because when I go to a news station, they said this is a technique that people have used there before when things is not going their way with foreigners and their businesses. So this is a type of behavior that some of you people have been, behaving. Very wrong. Very wrong. Because most likely this woman even used a credit card, so she could have disputed the charges. She didn't. It wasn't necessary to go off and do something like this. Very much unthoughtful. Very much cruel. Very much wicked. But Bob Marley have a song. He said, you think you're in heaven when you're living in hell. You think you're in heaven when you're living in hell. The old world can see that America is hell. And I personally gonna leave this lady to Donald Trump, because I know Donald Trump will serve this lady right eventually. You know, it will serve this lady right. I am not going to be stressed and depressed about this idiot because she's clearly an idiot. I'm not calling her an idiot because I don't have anything else to do. It's an idiot that will get up and call ICE on someone. It wasn't necessary. She could have said her piece and leave. And if she used a credit card, this lady could have clearly disputed the charges and get back her money. This wasn't a route that she had to take. Very spiteful, cruel, and disgusting. But what to expect? What to expect from the black group that is convinced that they are the superior black group? What to expect? This is what to expect. This is what to expect from most of those people. This type of outrageous and outlandish and unthoughtful behavior. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. It is.
This lady here, in that picture, claimed that she called ICE agent and a couple that owns a restaurant. Simply because she spent $27 and she was not satisfied with the food. She returned it and she gets some attitude. And based off of the attitude, and of course she measured them every accent and assumed that they were not so straight, and she called ICE agent. However, she went back a couple weeks later. The establishment was closed, and her curious mind led her to the gentleman that had the store next door, and he told her that a bunch of ICE agents came there and pick up the family and, you know, take them away. So I guess that lady, if it is true, that lady is on her way to be deported or returned to Jamaica. Now, to this lady, remember I said, karma of a way where you work, you see? You know, because I think, honestly, you know, it was the crime, you know, that was committed, the punishment was too excessive for it. You know, I think probably you could have dealt with it a different way. But then if the $27 mean that much to you, I guess you react accordingly. But I want to also say to the lady, the owner of the establishment, if it is true that you had mistreated this lady because of her $27, knowing your condition that you're not straight, you live in a glass house, you cannot throw a stone, sister. You know, so even though I sympathize with you, I'm also gonna touch you a little bit because, you know, sometimes with a chill, especially if we know our, you know, situation. And when you look at it, I guess the $27 has equal value to both of them. Because while one of that said she could have walked away and leave with $27, go be the loser at $27. The owner of the establishment could have returned the $27 and be the loser after $27 same way. But she held on to it and apparently give her some attitude. And that's what subsequently lead to it. I am saying, you know, if we know our status some of the time, you know, we know so we're not so straight. We can't too bold and bad. We live in a critical time right now. And, you know, you have people have different values and things and money and all of that. And so it's not uncommon that one would have overreact, you know, when treated a certain way. Again, I sympathize with the lady, but I'm just trying to split the difference here, which there's no difference really for me to split, because the two of them, you know, was holding on to this $27 and made the thing go too far. Live in a glass house, you can't throw a stone. The other lady to you, come have a way. Let me know what you have to say now.
So the woman called ICE on the restaurant. And I see every Jamaican I make video attack about it, say she wrong. But how about you talk about the attitude of the people that are working at the restaurant and the behavior that they have while you are spending your money? What is it that Jamaican workers have to be so disrespectful, especially in a Jamaican restaurant? Why are they so disrespectful and rude? Yeah, they might never sell her any rotten food and she could have get back a refund or whatever. Or however the situation go. Because none of we never did it. We would have loved to hear from the restaurant what really happened. But let us talk about our behavior as Jamaicans and everybody making videos to defend the restaurant. Whoever the worker is, we don't know. But at the end of the day, you remember, so we as Jamaicans just the same. We go there and then disrespect and piss we have worse than how they piss off other people sometimes. Because nobody not yet Jamaican like Jamaican. You don't have to do nothing. Them just want to see you walking at the restaurant and automatically them start give your attitude like them have more man and girl problem than everybody in the world. How about we speak about that? How about we speak of a little customer service and a little respect to the persons that is coming to your establishment to spend their money with you? How about we speak about that? Yeah? How about the disrespect we don't always have and give people because you don't feel like, oh, me a Jamaican and I don't take no chat from nobody. I know everybody are going to take it. How about that? So yes, the woman never did fi call no ice and she never did fi take it that far. But you know fi take responsibility too. Because you don't know no disrespectful and you know no mean and angry all the time for whatever reason I don't know. A person come into an establishment, especially the restaurants, and they want to order something. And me don't know which problem you have from the yard. Don't take up your car, come and work with you. Me not do you know nothing. The person probably not do nothing. But you know always have attitude and it's been going on for years. So you cannot blame the woman alone. Yes, she take it too far. But you can't jump up and defend Jamaican restaurant like that because you are Jamaican. You must be honest and split justice because you know some of the things them that happen in there is true. And that is the problem with us as Jamaicans. We go on like we big and bad and we bold and we run things everywhere we go. And if nobody do nothing, yes, Jamaicans are going to run come defend it. How about you start tell if you take some accountability? And me say we because the island we sometimes we full of attitude we need to check ourselves. Why not always so mad with the customer them? Even when the customer them not do nothing to them just ask for some quality service. What is wrong with that? And people are gonna say, oh well, cook on a yard. If everybody did cook on their yard, nobody would need to go to a restaurant, which is so fucking stupid. Persons do cook at home, but there are times when they can't and then stop to get something to eat. Yeah, we're not gonna say, we don't do for cook on a yard, I don't for cook. If everybody did cook a yard, the same restaurant them would not have a business to run. So for the dunce empty head people, them will always come for some bullshit because they want to defend the behavior of their kin. How about you think about that? McDonald's would do in a business, Burger King would do in a business, Jamaican restaurant will sell patty shop, patty and patty would do in a business. If everybody did decide say, we are going to cook and we now go out. Have some sense, no man. You can't wrong and strong all the time. Sometimes when you no wrong, you have to take wrong and split justice. Yes, we defend Jamaicans all the way. And we don't make nobody take step away. But in order to fix the situation, because not only Americans and other people them rude to we too. You're gonna if you buy something them I tell you what you can and cannot get. You're running an establishment. If you go anywhere else to buy no chicken or no rice or no whatever. The only thing if they did have a rule say well no such and such and such. Then we understand. But sometimes the cashiers and the person selling the food are making their own rules because they look for you and feel like so them not like you. Which is very weird. So we have to split justice. We have to split justice. And if we not talk up, then now go do better and it's been going on for years. Everybody knows the Jamaican restaurant workers disrespectful. And it's not getting better because everybody keep on and say, oh, make them go suck them mother. I'm not going like when you tell people go suck them mother, it's going to do something to them. Everybody come, suck on the mother, suck on the mother. What I gonna do? Alright, we suck with mother now. What else? We don't need to grow up and start take accountability for your own behavior. Another simple that. Everybody can come defend the wrong. We don't need to do better.
Guys, have you heard about the woman who bought a Jamaican food from a Jamaican restaurant, and just because she didn't like the quality of the food, she decided to call ICE on the people? She said, oh, they had a heavy accent. The woman had a heavy accent in the back of the restaurant. So because she had a heavy accent, that is the reason why she decided to call ICE. Now, because you don't like the food and you don't like the quality, which is only $27, you think a woman's life or whatever that woman is going through at the restaurant is equated to $27. Are you telling me you couldn't just leave a bad review and just let it stay where it's at? That tells me that sometimes the people that you see, and I'm sure that's not the first time she went to that restaurant. I'm sure she's a consistent customer. But sometimes jealousy, because of jealousy, and people are not progressing in their life and they see that you're doing a business, they want to bring you down. And that, for me, is to tell everyone out there who's in a situation where they're not straight and they're out there, be careful of the very people that are around you, the very people that's been associating themselves with you, because they are the very people that's going to bring you down. It means that you cannot trust, not even your customers. Don't trust them.
Now, greetings once again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm your host, the Amarin Reactions. I'd really love to take this opportunity to appreciate you all for the love and support. To those who chose to click onto the subs on my videos, and to those who just did smash the subscribe button, I'm here to say thank you so much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want us to take a quick dive into the video that we've just watched. Now, for one, I want to start by making one point clear. In this generation that we are currently living in 2026, ladies and gentlemen, the enemy of a black man is the fellow black man. Now, because you tell me, why will this black American lady would choose to call the ICE agents on the Jamaican restaurant owner over a plate of rice and meat? Ladies and gentlemen, it's unbelievable. Now, before we even talk about this video, remember there are videos whereby some blacks in the diaspora have come out and exposed that the people who don't root for the Africans, for the black people who just moved to the diaspora, are the fellow black people. We complain of Black Lives Matter. We complain of the white man oppressing us. But we forget that our fellow black people, they are the one oppressing us. Ladies and gentlemen, now back to our video. This video, the black American lady said that she was served rice and meat that was burnt. Ladies and gentlemen, she had her friend. She had her friend. She was not alone. She had her friend. Now, they were given both the same meal. They were in the same restaurant. In that restaurant, there were other people who were eating in that restaurant. They were having their meals in that restaurant. Now, after they were served, she ate the food. She ate some of the food. And now it got to a point now she realizes that, oh no, this food is banned. I have to take it back so that I can be given another plate. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, if you go to a hotel, if you get to a restaurant, you get served a bad food that's either burnt or gone wrong, do you go back to this hotel asking for another plate? Or do you go back to this hotel asking for a refund? Ladies and gentlemen, there is something that this lady who called this black American woman is not telling us. For one, I can come to think of this. She didn't have enough money to buy more food. After tasting the food, she realizes that this food is delicious, but now I don't have money. So what I can do is, I can go to this restaurant and claimed that the food was banned. And instead of asking for a refund, I'll ask for another plate. Ladies and gentlemen, her friend was asked if the food is okay. She praised the food. She praised the food. On the other hand, ladies and gentlemen, I can think of one thing also. You know, the person could have the same issues like Miss Neta. I believe you all remember Miss Neta and what happened to her. She travels all the way from United States to Jamaica. She ends up eating the Jamaican restaurant and ends up trashing it. Talks bad about Jamaican food. And you know what happened? She got exactly what she deserved. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get back to something that's logic. Now, there are a lot of ways you can handle this if you are that woman. For one, you could just politely go to the restaurant and explain everything. Get to a mutual agreement with the hotel owner. But mind you me, your friend doesn't complain. Why are you complaining? Then it means that there is something wrong with your taste buds. You've been eating bad food all of your life. And now when you get to taste a little bit of the best food that people keep on praising all over the world, now you feel like this is not the right food. This is not the right food. Ladies and gentlemen, another thing, how did she come to a conclusion that this Jamaican owner of this restaurant is running her business illegally in the diaspora? Ladies and gentlemen, she could ask for the papers. You understand? For you to run a hotel, you have to have those community health papers on all of that. I don't know if in the diaspora, but I believe in my country here in Kenya, we do that. You cannot serve people bad food. You need to have these health papers. The health officers must inspect your hotel before you run something like this. Now, she made her judgments. This is an illegal immigrant. The food is banned. So what I'll do, I'll not talk to her or he, but I'll go make a call directly, report her to the ICE agents. And as if that wasn't enough, she went back there at the same place a week later to confirm if the hotel was still running. Ladies and gentlemen, how wicked can we be as humans? We as the black people, why are we constantly hating on our fellow black people? Why can't we support them? Why can't we uplift them? Why can't we advise them? Like, hey, this is the diaspora and this is how things run over here. Your food was not good. So what you're gonna do is you either give me a refund or work on your food, or whoever prepared the meal was calling ICE agents. The only solution. Now, if that guy or that woman had a family, of course he does. He has people to feed. He has people to take care of. The school fees, people need to be dressed up. How is he, or let me just put it, how is that man or that family holding on right now? Ladies and gentlemen, we as black people, we are so wicked to our fellow black people in the diaspora. Instead of welcoming them, instead of supporting them, instead of standing with them. Ladies and gentlemen, this video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. It's high time we look out for our fellow black people. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd love to hear from you in the comment section. Engage me, let's have a discussion. Tell me what you think of this video. Was this lady right for calling the ICE agents on the Jamaican restaurant owner or not? And what other ways do you think this issue could have been handled? Beautiful people, thank you so much for clicking onto this video. Thank you so much for hitting the subscribe button. Thank you so much for dropping your comment. Thank you so much for giving this video a thumbs up. I know you won't disappoint me, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, please, ladies and gentlemen, give me your sub. Let's hit these 500 subs, please, ladies and gentlemen. I'm begging you. So thank you so much for the love and support. I've been your host, the Amarin Reactions. Remember to be safe wherever you are. And until we meet again in my next episode, peace out and one love.